So, guten Tag and welcome everybody.
Hello everybody and welcome.
The Conference of European Finance Minister has come to an end. Finance Minister Olaf Scholz in Berlin and the Commission's Executive Vice President Valdis Dombrovskis here in Brussels will now brief you on the outcome of the meeting. Mr. Minister, you have the floor. Herr Minister, Sie haben das Wort.
You have the floor, Minister, sir. I would like to tell you about the results and discussions amongst the EU finance ministers today. Let me inform you of these. This is most likely the last ECOFIN this year, so I would like to give you a temporary state of play of the achievements by the German presidency. I can say that the tasks that fell to the German presidency were quite unusual. This is also because there was only one physical ECOFIN in Berlin in September, and all the others had to take place virtually. All the finance and economies ministers were present and managed to exchange views together, but of course we do all hope that soon this will be able to be done physically too. So despite these very difficult conditions, we have faced up to the crisis. Europe can fight crises, it can fight pandemics too. It was very important for the Council presidency, and still is, to look at the sustainable management of the COVID crisis. We want to prepare Europe for a future digital and improve the climate too. We also looked at the point of building a more resilient Europe together. So together we have managed to achieve many major things and certainly have nothing to be ashamed about. In managing the crisis, we have got an important package on the rails. It's moving, and we have worked on the political blockage on the budget packet, and we do hope that this can be politically agreed still this year. Also for tax policy and also further development of banking and finance markets in Europe, we have taken decisive steps in the right direction and prepared the way forward to the future. There are a few other important points that I would like to deal with too. The finance ministers together have looked at the 540 billion that was decided in Europe and have reacted quickly to that. This has certainly contributed to allaying the concern of the financial markets. Employees and employers in Europe are benefiting from the SURE programme, 100 billion Europe, and 90 million of this have been committed already, and 130 already paid out. This was prepared by the German and French initiative in May. Europe was able to reach agreement on the 750 billion Euro fund as an answer to the crisis, a crisis response in the name of solidarity. We also have the EU Sustainability and Growth Fund and have managed to take decisions very rapidly and move things forward speedily. The RRF had rapid agreements too, and we managed to make a substantial contribution to that too. This is 627 million euro that are dedicated to the resilience facility. These are pivotal to all the funds that are helping to move towards a digital and greener future. Together, we all have to work together and find a way to ensure that the economic recovery can be brought about rapidly by mobilising all these funds together. And I'm sure that we can manage that 2020 will be a strong turning point for us to move towards a stronger Europe. It's going to be a very important moment indeed. Improving the financial architecture of Europe, repayment of the capital market and own resources there. We do have to dedicate time to the EU's own resources. And then in our September in our ECOFIN sessions in Berlin, we began to look at new possibilities for own resources revenue for the European Union, and we are going to come up with proposals with that. Digital taxation was one of them, a digital levy. This digital is also a key word for our priorities as part of tax policy. This is something that was at the forefront of today's ECOFIN Council. The purpose is to set up a European architecture for a fair and effective taxation which meets the challenges of digitalisation and globalisation. It is an important part of this architecture, something that was decided a few days ago, and that was to look at the DAC directive, the administrative cooperation. After 2023, digital platform users will have to provide information to tax authorities about revenues and information about buyers and sellers. In doing so, Europe is playing a front-runner role in effective taxation of the platform economy, and is also at the same time combating tax avoidance. We have also set down important markers in other areas too. In the international negotiation process of the OECD, we are looking at taxation and rights. There we're talking about global minimum taxation and taxation of digital companies. And it is indeed quite clear global challenges require global responses, global solutions. And so we've looked at the mandate for the Code of Conduct and looked at non-cooperative countries. It's an important part in combating harmful taxation practices. There's also, on the banking union, we've also made progress there. In November, we adopted conclusions to undercut the financing of terrorism, and that was very important conclusions. We have also tried to ensure that we have European supervision. These are very clear and strong signals that Europe is sending out to combat money laundering. With the further development of the capital market union, we have a clear outlook now. Look at what legislative opportunities they are and what priorities they are in order to strengthen Europe's capital markets. With the capital market package, we want to promote economic recovery, short-term regulatory reductions, and we also want to look at the capacity of banks to provide loans and promote that. In negotiations, we want to conclude negotiations with Parliament this month too. We have also done some to ensure that the European financial sector can avail themselves of the opportunities offered by digitalisation. We have the digital finance package that the Commission presented in September, and we have promoted that and worked on it. There are complex legislative negotiations on crypto assets and resilience of IT finance services. A lot of work has been done on that point too. Ladies and gentlemen, the Council presidency always has to carry the baton and do its utmost to ensure that it can represent the positions of all the member states. And I think we've managed that. We have got further than we ever thought we could. And in particular, in this crisis, the German presidency has managed to show that the European idea still lives. Solidarity, freedom, state of law, rule of law are a substantial achievement, and it's something that we've achieved together. We want to do our utmost in the final round to ensure that our Portuguese colleagues can pick up the baton where we have left off. We are doing everything to ensure that the budgetary package and the EU RRF are achieved and completed before the end of the year. We hope to provide more impetus for the EU. It's a strong sign that Europe is still standing together, and together we will make Europe strong again. Thank you.
Mr. Executive Vice President, you have the floor.